on the Gophers Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome to Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official sports bar of March Madness. Now, here's the voice of the Gophers, Mike Grimm.
And welcome to the show. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved. A nice crowd here at Buffalo Wild Wings on this Tuesday, the lunch hour, the day before the Gophers will take on the Wisconsin Badgers. They'll travel out later today to Madison. I am Mike Grimm. Justin Gard is back with us after some Gopher women's basketball duties. He is here, and good to see you. And
it's great to be back.
You got the Gopher women, a couple of wins in a row.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I was definitely integral. I was integral in that whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
He took credit quickly.
He did. Yeah. He was not turning down any.
Well, I do like that when people go, "Hey, great work out there." Yeah. It's like I did literally nothing to help them win. I got on the bus at the right time so they weren't late. That was my contribution to the whole deal.
Yeah, and not to get off subject, but right off the bat, let's get off subject. Coach Medved has snack time. You guys have what, ice cream?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
You go get ice cream when you win a game, which is good. I'm batting about 50% on if I get it or not, you know? Mm-hmm. Unlike you, who went right to the Diet Mountain Dew.
Absolutely.
You waste no time.
Yeah.
You waste no time on the snacks.
And some crummy Wisconsin-made stuff that Coach and I both
won't do that again.
Won't do that again.
Won't make the same mistake twice. Yeah.
I got meat sticks, and you got, what was it?
Cheese curds.
Cheese curds.
But I got my ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, you got the ice cream. So you're getting ice cream, too, out of that.
Absolutely.
Well, the Golden Gophers are at Wisconsin, as we mentioned, tomorrow night. 8 o'clock is the tip time. We'll take air at 7:30 from the Kohl Center, and we'll certainly preview that game as the show moves on. But let's do some recapping here since the last time you and I chatted here on the show. A couple of games happened. At Ohio State, you guys go to overtime, and then with Nebraska here on Saturday, it was a 6-point lead at half. Things were going good, and then ice cold in the second half, and then they just, I don't know if you talked about it, maybe they, for the first time in a while, wore you down to the point where I think your quote in the postgame with us was the spirit, you could just kind of see it leave there for a second. So after watching film on that one, let's break down Nebraska first. What was your assessment after a little more deep dive into it?
You know, it was a great, I thought, atmosphere in the barn, great crowd. A lot of energy and emotion went into that. I thought it wasn't our best first half, but we were able to have a lead. You know, we knocked down some shots. We have a 6-point lead. Maybe could have even had a bigger lead. You know, Nebraska's a terrific team. They're veteran. They played together. They were going to respond. Came out at halftime, took an 8-point lead. We're kind of hanging around. I think it was a 3 or 4 point game. 11 minutes to go. Cade Tyson turns his ankle, and for whatever reason, it was kind of after that point, about the 10-minute mark, it just felt like the wheels kind of fell off a little bit, and they quickly made that run. It got to about 7 or 8, and then they expanded after that, and it just looked, like I said, for the first time in a while, just our spirit had kind of been broken. And they're such a good team. They've got terrific players, great chemistry. You have to play well for 40 minutes, and just kind of took the wind out of our sails. And unfortunately, in all these other games, we've given ourselves a chance to win, and boy, in those last 9-10 minutes, we just couldn't do it.
And when you face a team like that that's feeling it, and you were part of a team last year at Colorado State that went on that 11-game winning streak, there is something about teams that way, that when crunch time hits, there's just a way that they shift into kind of that fifth gear, and I thought there was some of that with that group.
Yeah, you know, and they don't panic. They know who they are. They don't, you know, they know basketball is a game of runs, and they just got to keep going. A kid who's maybe missed some shots early in the game, they're not going to stop shooting. They're not going to stop being aggressive. They know what works for them, and that's what they did. And ultimately, again, I thought they just kind of wore us down, you know, emotionally. They're also terrific on the defensive end, and yeah, it was just one of those days, you know, unfortunately, just took the wind out of our sails.
How do you handle the spirit part of it with the group, either during the game? Like Grimm said, you said it right away. You said, I felt it, we see it, the spirit was kind of gone. Is that something you say to the guys right after? Do you talk about it? Do you show them that? Because obviously, human nature being what it is, I don't think the stretch that you've been on, I think a lot of people's spirits might be broken a little bit. So the fact they've held in alive with all the adversity, I think, is a positive sign. But how do you address all of that?
I would start with what you said before. It's been, honestly, pretty cool to watch this group with everything that's gone against it, to keep hanging in there and keep fighting all these close games, have been giving themselves a chance. They keep coming back every day. And they did, too, before the Nebraska game. And I think, you know, sometimes you got to be careful not to say too much after the game. The emotions are running really high.
For sure.
I think we learn that in the world sometimes when emotions are really high. you kind of sometimes have to take a deep breath. But, I did tell him that, hey, for the first time in a while, I thought, they kind of broke our spirit. But sometimes that happens, and, we've got to respond and regroup. I do think, and people who know me now, we don't make any excuses. I will say, though, I did think losing Cade, I think that kind of rattled him a little bit. It really was hard for us to score, too, after that. And, man, we were already kind of running pretty thin here, and that really hurt us. But, now with a couple of days here and you kind of get over it a little bit, you just get right back in the fight.
And from that standpoint, too, with Cade, I suppose everybody is curious. That's going to be the question that I guess we'll ask right now. How is he, and what is the prognosis for him and the ankle? Day to day, right? Which it kind of is. It's the good news is I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be an extended amount of time, but ankles are tricky. Everyone's a little bit different. Sometimes they linger on for a while. Sometimes they heal quickly. I think it's questionable, at best for Wednesday, in Madison right now, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. With him too, you mentioned that when he left the game, things changed a little bit. So what does that mean? Let's say when he's not able to play, what does that leave you with in terms of what the process is to try to now find offense? We have to kind of retool it a little bit. I think, we haven't had to do that all year. Sometimes when that happens in the middle of the game, that can be a little bit tricky. He's been playing, 38 minutes? 45
for us. 45 one night, whatever. So then I think, you got to be able to get back to the practice floor a little bit, just kind of look at it and see, hey, what's some things that we can do and tweak. And so that's kind of what we're trying to work on in the event that, he doesn't play or he's out here for a few games.
How much do you talk about avoiding foul trouble? It's a stupid question, but everybody talks about it. And I think about, obviously, Isaac, got the quick too early. I think Jalen against, was it USC? Maybe Wisconsin got a couple early. And then you're kind of scrambling there to find and steal minutes. How much do you talk about that as practice goes along since you've been so short-staffed?
Every day, we work on that, physicality drills without fouling and, your hands to the lights and using your chest and being in the right position and, knowing when you can't stick your nose in there. And it's been a little bit different because there's certain plays, you want to stick your nose in there, but you just can't do it if you picked up a quick one. And you guys got to learn. And sometimes in the heat of a game, it's really hard, just your instincts kind of say, God, I got to go try to make a play on that ball, or I got to go try to get that rebound. And I think we've gotten better that way. But yeah, the game against Nebraska too, I thought, unfortunately, Isaac's been playing really, really well, but it just struggled. 2 quick ones before he could even get out of the gate. And then literally the first play of the second half, I said, hey, let's be smart. We can't pick up a cheap one. And that thing was just sitting right there and he just couldn't.
It's like a cookie in a cookie jar.
It's like me at night with there's the ice cream in the freezer, and I don't want to do it, but you just it just looks too good, and you reach in there and you get bit a little bit, and so it's just hard. It's one of those games, he just couldn't get into any kind of a rhythm.
And at the Ohio State game, Cade had a couple of foul issues and eventually fouled out of the game, which in overtime probably didn't help things either. But I thought even in a couple of his cases, he looked to be consciously trying not to foul the guy, and they end up, maybe I don't know, maybe the call goes against you a little bit, or maybe the guy just throws his body in. And how do you even try to combat that?
I think that's the next point I got you brought up. I think sometimes it goes the other way, and when you try not, because I agree with you, sometimes I'm trying too hard not to foul, and then you foul anyway because you're behind the play, you're reacting, you're not anticipating, and it's just, you still got to go play. You got to guard, you got to play physical, you got to get after it. It's just, understanding how to not pick up cheap ones. Let's remember, you still get 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So fouls are going to happen. It's just, it's the smart ones, eliminating the silly ones. And when you play not to foul, that's when bad things happen.
And it's easy, right, for the radio guys or TV guys or fans to say, oh, you just got to, don't go after that rebound, just concede something. And then you look at a play like Jalen Crocker-Johnson made the other day where he's coming from behind to block that dunk. I think a lot of people are like, you got to give up the dunk, don't get the foul. But yet he made an aggressive play, made a beautiful block on the play, clean as a whistle, no call. Now they end up getting the rebound off that, but sometimes, like you say, you still got to play aggressive,
Got to play aggressive. And that was actually maybe the most disappointing play in the first half, was that particular play, which I think we've gotten better at. But we turn it over, and or Crockett's shot blocked or whatever, and he hustles down, Isaac does, and the 3 guys on our team, I thought gave up on the play, just assumed that he was going to go lay it in, and then we block it off the glass, balls to the free throw line, and those 3 guys didn't stay with the play. And like, we had been really doing that, and that was a play too. And obviously I let them know in a kind way at the next timeout. So yes.
The 0 for 11 from 3, you talk about draining your energy. When shots don't go in, I think naturally human nature can drain you. And you hear coaches say a lot, poor offense sometimes can leak into, okay, we're not playing as good a defense. I'm not saying that was the case, but when shots don't go in, that can sap some energy too.
Well, I think, to be honest, probably in that game there was part of that, and that can't happen. And I think our guys have, again, we've really gotten through that here in the last several weeks. Have really showed a resiliency about us. And again, just for whatever reason, there was frustration, whatever it was, and it just wasn't what it needed to be there the last 10 minutes.
So how'd you come back Monday? I know Sunday was an off day. What's today? Tuesday? I rarely know what day it is anymore. How'd Monday go? Like when you get them all back and everybody's had their rest, and obviously Cade's doing what Cade's doing to try to be ready to play whenever that is. Take us through yesterday.
I think, a lot of times for me, I that's why I say sometimes after games, I've learned throughout my career when emotions are high and you're feeling it, sometimes the worst thing you can do is try to say too much. And a lot of times, you go home, you sleep on it, you get a little bit of perspective all the way around. And I think, just addressing things, just kind of where we're at emotionally, what we need to do, just kind of resetting a little bit of where things are at, and just kind of finding a plan moving forward. But a lot of that is just trying to get yourself back, emotionally ready to go. You can't let this stuff steal your joy. And let's get back to work. And we tried to have practice pretty light yesterday, so some other guys are banged up, but try to get some spirit back going again, and about ready to go practice here and get ready to get on the plane to Madison. But I think with a lot of that stuff, a lot of it is as much mental as anything. And sometimes there's times where you want to go and show them every clip. Wow, why did we help off this guy here in this situation? What are we thinking? And this and that. And then sometimes you just have to say, hey, okay, we know how to do it. We kind of got a little out of sorts that way, but we just needed a little bit of a reset, I think.
And the fact that you guys have been fighting so hard, does that give you some confidence that they can bounce back from that second half?
I mean, I would say in life and in people, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior, right? Not what somebody says, but what they've done. And so we have proven that we've done that. Doesn't mean every game is going to go well, but they've proven to be resilient and have gotten better. And so I don't see any reason to believe why they won't do the same thing.
All right, let's take our first break here. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly. We're glad you're with us here on this Tuesday. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings, Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved. Mondays or Tuesdays. Next week we're here Tuesday. It will be live, Buffalo Wild Wings, University of Minnesota location. Buffalo Wild Wings, proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics and the official sports bar of March Madness. Stay with us. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.
Dear Winter, Toyota can't get enough of you, because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
Small but mighty. Tough yet flexible. Bagster bags from WM mix durability with convenience for all kinds of projects. From home cleanups, renovations, and more. Bagster is a dumpster to make disposal easy. You fill it, WM collects it. To learn more, visit thebagster.com or purchase a Bagster at your local retailer. Buy, fill, gone. Bagster by WM.
Visit the University of Minnesota bookstore, your destination for the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel, gifts, and novelties for fans of all ages. From the latest styles to timeless favorites, it's your one-stop shop for all things Gophers. And when you shop here, you're giving back because every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. Stop by our campus location or shop anytime online at bookstores.umn.edu. Go Gophers!
Are you looking for concert or sports tickets? As a local Minnesota company, Ticket King is a company you can trust. They have seats to fit every budget and even offer parking or tailgating passes, and all tickets are guaranteed. Each order is personally attended to by one of our dedicated customer service representatives who are committed to providing you with a courteous, professional, quick, convenient experience. Visit us at TicketKingOnline.com or call us directly at 612-341-4131.
Buffalo Wild Wings has partnered with the Gopher men's basketball team for the Gophers Win You Win promotion this season. After every Gopher men's basketball victory, fans win 6 free wings. The offer is valid at participating Buffalo Wild Wings locations throughout Minnesota with a $10 minimum purchase for 2 days following each Gopher win. Fans are also invited to join the Niko Medved Coaches Show on Tuesdays from 12 to 1 at the Buffalo Wild Wings University of Minnesota location. For full details, visit gophersports.com/BWW. Buffalo Wild Wings is a proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics and the official sports bar of March Madness.
Imagine getting insider access to your favorite Gopher student athlete, exclusive events, behind-the-scenes content, and unique experiences that bring you closer than ever. That's what you get as a member of Dinkytown Athletes. With memberships starting at just $10 a month, every membership directly supports Gopher student athletes through NIL opportunities, helping them grow on campus and beyond. Take your fan experience to the next level. Visit DinkytownAthletes.com today.
You depend on CenterPoint Energy to deliver energy for what matters most to you, your neighbors, and throughout the land of 10,000 lakes, so we can all make a better tomorrow. That's why we're investing in the latest technology to reduce emissions, offer rebates on qualifying energy-efficient natural gas equipment, and provide energy-saving programs that help save you money. Look ahead at centerpointenergy.com/futuremn.
Playing the Minnesota Lottery is a great way to add some win to your winter. Because while it's long, winter should be fun. And it's the everyday moments that help us through winter. A hot chocolate waiting when we come inside. An extra set of gloves. A fluffy new winter hat. So win this winter by picking up winter scratch games from the Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Gopher fans know the power of a great team. M Health Fairview University of Minnesota Medical Center is ranked the #1 hospital in the Twin Cities by U.S. News and World Report. This is more than an award. It's a reflection of our team of doctors, nurses, and staff who deliver world-class care so you can be at the top of your game. As the official healthcare provider of Gopher Athletics, M Health Fairview is proud to serve people across the state.
No matter how you drive it, there's a Ford for you. On the work site or out in the town, F-Series trucks provide power and toughness when you need it most. It's what makes them the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. When adventure calls, the Bronco family always answers. That's because they're made for the great outdoors. With a flexible interior, the Ford Explorer adapts towards your needs. Visit your local Northland Ford dealers to find the perfect Ford for you. Plus, a great offer to go along with it. Based on 1977 to 2024 CY Industry reported total sales.
Welcome back. More Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved here on the Gopher Sports Network. Mike Grimm and Justin Gard with the head coach. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings, and we're glad that you are with us here on this Tuesday. Tomorrow, the Golden Gophers take on Wisconsin, a rematch of a game earlier in the month. We'll preview that a little bit later in the show. I hope I'm not stealing any thunder of yours from the long contested two, but I do have an on-topic question that's a little off-topic. Cade Tyson, unfortunately for him, his timing is 4 years, and that's all he has, right? His eligibility will be extinguished. When Nebraska had a guy who was in his 6th year, they're an older team, and that's good. We're talking about people needing to be old. Is there a way that you could find maybe a University of Minnesota grad pro Gopher judge that would grant him an extra year, maybe a 5th year, with what we're seeing around the country? We got Alabama, Ohio State, others are getting guys that the Ohio State guys played 5 years, and somehow he's now playing for them last night in the game.
It's hard to follow, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I saw the NCAA filed an injunction or whatever. They're trying to ask that judge to recuse himself in that situation. Yeah. I mean, NCAA comes out and they say, well, under no circumstances if somebody signed an NBA contract can do it. Well, then this kid, he signed a two-way and he's playing. Yeah. So I don't know.
And they extended it because of the weather.
Because of the weather.
Yeah.
I don't
Turned
know.
out to be a three-way because you could go to college as well.
If anybody knows a good
NBA, G League, college.
Yeah, three-way contract indeed.
Well, we were at, we had Alumni Day the other day, and I was joking with John Thomas and Willie Burton and those guys. Man, can we find find a couple minutes here?
Yeah,
and,
get a jersey on them.
I think you mentioned what we should do is start basically being like the Timberwolves. Forget the G League. Just come and play for us.
Didn't I say that last week? Rob Dillingham.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, get Dillingham because they're not giving him any minutes.
And what's a guy, Joan, who's blocking all the shots? I mean, he could play in the Big Ten.
Good rim protector.
Yeah, good rim protector.
Yeah.
Could you use a rim protector?
Could help us.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to your point, I mean, it doesn't look like that today, that the fifth year thing is going to happen, but my gosh, who knows for sure, but that would be my bet. So it is what it is. And I mean, at some point, my thing is whatever we decide to do, let's just have some standards,
rules,
whatever it is. So,
and it's so weird because some of it is just luck based on when your college career started. There's guys older. I mean, Cade's older player too, but there's guys older than Cade still playing eligibility wise in their fifth year, sometimes in their sixth year. Because of when he enrolled, he's going to just get 4 years and that will be it. And it'd be nice to get that fifth year or sue him and maybe he can play next year.
Got to figure out what to sue him for.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, I guess,
they're
anymore.
keeping him from making money out of your revenue share. I think that's the basis of many of these. So that's my idea for the day, Guardsy.
I like it. Well, we can keep going with it. Do you have a preference on what the eligibility stuff should be or the transfer rules should be? Like if they asked you, and I'm sure you've talked about it and thought about it, how all this stuff should go.
I don't. If it were me, I think I would go just straight 5 for 5. That's what I would do. I think that probably makes the most sense. You kind of forget the red shirt thing. I mean, the extenuating circumstance. There maybe could be a medical situation, maybe. But I think 5 for 5, I think makes sense to me. And then as far as the transfer thing, I wish we'd be in a situation where you get to transfer one time. Like I said, no penalty. And if you transfer again, you probably have to sit. That's kind of what I would hope for, unless there was a situation where there was a coaching change, and I think those things are fair. But I don't see how any of that stuff happens without some sort of collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion, and I think those are things that, we're headed that way. I said that 3 years ago. I keep saying it. We're fighting it and trying to hope that some other situation happens. And I just think the longer we fight it and don't come to reality here, we're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Right, because the multi-time transfer, that was a court case. Like the NCAA would like to keep the rule as it is, but it's in essence out of their control because the West Virginia guy, right?
Yeah,
that's the president.
I mean, I was on a call with Charlie Baker, I don't know, a month and a half ago, and it's the same thing. People are like, why isn't the NCAA doing anything? They can't do anything right now. If they say it's 5 for 5, well, then what's going to stop it from being 6 for 6? It just takes some judge or whatever just randomly deciding that, they determine that this is unfair, and it's a tough situation to be in right now, and we're all feeling the brunt of it.
And I think the current, these are restraining orders somehow, right?
I can't.
It's unreal.
I can't keep track of it really, either. But at some point, there needs to be. It's still college sports, college basketball. At some point, there needs to be an opportunity where people move on and new young players get an opportunity to play.
Because at the end of the day, that's who will get penalized here. The high school kids wanting a chance to play college basketball, and there'll be fewer of those opportunities if the eligibility gets extended out to 6, 7, 8 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you get frequent calls with Charlie Baker? That's the president of the NCAA, right? Still?
No. I do a little bit with the NABC board stuff, and there was a call with him and several coaches, about a month and a half ago, just kind of going through sort of all this stuff and kind of where they were at, with the SCORE Act and what they're trying to do. And I think, and not that this is a surprise to anybody, but I think some of what people read and whatever on their phone algorithm, whatever it is. Maybe it's just kind of nice sometimes to hear different perspectives from actually what's going on with the people who are in the room. And, none of this is, it's tricky. There's a lot of factors involved. And hopefully we can come to some sort of agreement that works. I just don't know. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know any of that, but I'm going to keep saying it. I just think if we're waiting for Congress or somebody else to come in and solve this, I think we're going to be waiting a while.
Yeah, and hopefully sooner rather than later that you get some sort of guardrails put in that work. But as it stands, it doesn't change the fact that you've got a game tomorrow night.
You got to go beat Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, my job is to coach. I think like most coaches would tell you, I think if Matt Painter was here, if Brad Underwood, you could name it, just tell us what the rules are. And we don't even know what they are. I mean, I think that's the thing. They change every day. Whatever they are, like, we'll figure it out. Just here are the rules. We all have the same rules. This is the rule, whatever it is, with NIL, transfer, eligibility, you name it. Let's go. And like the tampering thing, that thing's fascinating, isn't it? With Dabo Swinney. And so they're on. So I don't know. Is anything going to happen? Or
Right.
I have my doubts.
Yeah.
Well, to catch people up on the Swinney thing, he basically went on a press conference and had the receipts, as the kids would say, right?
It was wild.
Head coaches
It was like a 9 or
his
12
quarterback
minute thing, right?
with specific times and everything. So when you're a head coach and you're watching that, like, how does that hit you when you see that?
I started to watch the video and I'm like, I gotta watch all of this. This is wild. I mean, he had 12:49. This guy texted him and said this, and so again, I think we're in a chaotic time, but sometimes when things are really messy, it takes that happening.
Sure.
Sometimes when things are messy and chaos, that's actually when real change happens. And so maybe that's kind of what needs to happen right now with us, to have that all happen so we can figure out, get the right people together in the room and figure out what's best.
Well, I kind of liked it from Dabo, and I'm sure you know this, Niko, but because even just being around sports for 20 years, it's you'll talk to coaches at a Final Four or whatever, like, oh, this guy's cheating, that guy's cheating, blah, blah. No one ever says anything. In fact, one guy that did years ago got in trouble, and then who knows what he went on to do. But you look, and Dabo just said, no, I'm doing it. Like, I've had enough and I'm moving on. I thought it was kind of refreshing in a way that he put himself out there.
Kind of respect it. You know what I mean? Like, and so now it's just if all that is true, what they're saying, let's see what happens. And if nothing happens, well then what are we doing?
Right. Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Right. If it was true,
what's the point of having rules if people aren't willing to enforce them and follow them? Other than, if that's the case, then there are no rules.
Correct.
I mean, and that's the problem with all this, and that's, I think, where coaches get frustrated. We've said all along, well, and then nothing happens. There's some 3-year investigation or looking into it, and before you know it, nothing's happened. We've already moved on, and it's just not working. But I'll say this.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, ratings, though, in college sports, they're as high as ever.
They are.
So I can tell you that. Like, the other thing, let's get this real here. There's more money, more people watching, more interest, than ever. So as long as that train keeps going, too, we're going to be in business.
It is pretty amazing.
And the games are good.
Yeah, and the games
Football
are good.
And basketball, the games are all good.
It is amazing, because if you follow the dialogue, most people say, oh, college sports is getting ruined. And look, obviously we've spent the last 10 minutes complaining about different things, but as the ratings and the money continue to increase.
Boy, I'm so down on, college sports while they sit all day and watch the NCAA tournament all weekend or whatever. This is awful, and
for sure.
I kid, but, again, those are things, we all know what drives us at the end of the day.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break.
That was a good entree to the long contested, too. This is almost a stretch 4 now with that and what we're going to talk
you've
about
got.
Next.
We as you found out 2 weeks ago, we don't pre-plan a lot here.
We don't.
And so I was hoping that I wasn't stepping on your touchdown call there. So we've got the long contested 2, which will be Guardsy's final segment. The Gopher women fly out to Penn State here in a little bit. He does not want to miss the plane, so he'll be here until about 12:40 or so. So we'll take the break now. We'll get the long contested 2, and then Coach and I will wrap it up talking about Wisconsin when we come back. We also want to mention you can visit the University of Minnesota bookstore for the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel, gifts, and novelties for fans of all ages. From the latest styles to timeless favorites, it is your one-stop one-stop shop, and every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. You can shop in-store on campus or online, bookstores.umn.edu. As we mentioned, we're going to give away 2 gift cards today, $25. So that's the benefit of coming in person. You have a chance to win gift cards. We weren't live last week, so we got 2 gift cards. Sign up here. We'll give those away during their last commercial. This is Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.
And
welcome back, Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings on campus here at the University of Minnesota. Mike Grimm along with Justin Gard, and the head coach is Niko Medved. Tomorrow, Minnesota and Wisconsin. We will take air at 7:30, 8 o'clock tip from the Kohl Center. And Gardsy, you've got women's hoops on many of these Gopher radio network stations in the app, and that's a 5 o'clock start tomorrow out at Penn State.
Yes, I'll be eternally confused by the time zones tomorrow once I get out there coming off the Pacific Northwest. But 5 o'clock Central. 5 o'clock Central against the Lady Lions, they call them out there.
We have been waiting patiently for the stretch 4, which has turned into a stretch 4 now. Yeah, long contested 2 into the stretch 4.
All right, so you mentioned Sunday was an off day, and I'm coaching. I'm sure there's never really a true off day, but when you don't have practice and the guys aren't coming in necessarily to do anything official, what does Niko Medved do? What was Sunday like for you?
There's nothing better, we joke about it, than having a Saturday afternoon game with Sunday off if you win. If you win the 11 o'clock game on Sunday, like had we won that game, I mean, it just, honestly, there aren't many things in life that get better. Like Saturday night and Sunday, it's nirvana. But you had the loss in there. But, we went out for dinner. We had dinner plans on Saturday night, the wife and I, so we still did that on Saturday. I think we had to go do that. Then Sunday, sometimes you go to church. And then what was interesting this Sunday, obviously a lot going on in our world is pretty heavy right now and everything like that. I know what I did. I got back, turned on some music, put my phone in the room, turned the TV off. I wasn't going to watch basketball. I wasn't going to look at my phone, and played with kids, played with the dog, turned some music on, just kind of look around and just kind of try to enjoy life. And it was one of the best parts of my weekend, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To doing that. Have fun, just kind of enjoying that. We were actually going to come up and watch the ladies play, and it didn't work out. But that was the first Sunday we'd had off in a while. So we did that. And then, once you get a little bit later on, you pick up the film again. And I'd already watched. I kind of broke my rule. I ended up watching the game,
on Saturday?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
About 3:30 in the afternoon. I just couldn't help myself, and I did that. But then I started to watch some more Wisconsin. They played too, right? So I ended up watching a little bit of that replay against USC, and then had some dinner and got back to watching film at night. But I definitely make sure to take some time during the day to just kind of take a couple hours, spend some time, get away from the phone and the TV and all the chaos. And it was really healthy to do that. And, I encourage people to do that, and our players too. Sometimes there's so much going on that just kind of is so heavy and hurts us, and just to, try to smell the roses a little bit when you can.
A lot of follow-ups off that. First of all, the music. What's the music selection for you?
Oh man, I am so eclectic. If you listen to my phone, it's everything. You can name it. Jazz, blues, country, R&B, rap. I struggle. I'm trying to, some of the stuff that our guys are into now. God.
You're getting old, man.
It happens to
fast.
all of us,
I know.
man. Like I do it and I try, I usually in the weight room with the guys, and I try, I really do, but it's hard for me.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of dependent on what I'm feeling, a little bit of all of it. But this Sunday was definitely a little jazz day.
Okay, so do you have like playlists that are pre-selected, or you just let it shuffle?
A lot of times I let it shuffle, or if I'm really just like, all right, I want to throw this on and see if anything comes on that I kind of like too, that I haven't listened to. Because I've kind of, but I love music. I listen to a little bit of everything, and this set, for whatever reason, I'm just kind of feeling a little bit of jazz.
How do you feel about 80s rock?
Not bad. Yeah. Okay. It's actually grown on me more as I've gotten away from it.
Okay.
I was more of a when I was like in college and like younger, I liked the 70s more than I did the 80s. The early 80s are bad. But then as you get a little bit older, 80s are fine. How about you? Are you 80s?
No, I'm not. I only bring it up because the voice of the Gophers, Mike Grimm, is 250 days a year going to some 80s cover band somewhere at a casino
that's not me.
or around town. And one day he'll tell the story about the 80s cover band I discovered and took him to in Bloomington. That was was one of the most epic nights we've ever had. Wasn't my finest performance of all time. But that's not for a new coach's show. But this is Mr. 80s. Like, it's, I mean, what, 200 nights a year you're watching an 80s cover band
quite.
somewhere?
My playlist is much less full. There's just a few songs, and it's the same one. You know the insurance commercial where you turn into your parents, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So when I'm young, I'm listening to the 80s bands, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, the 90s bands, Kiss, and my dad would say, that crap all sounds the same. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. They're totally distinctively different bands, and each within the band, the songs sound different. Now, I'm in the barn.
Just let them go.
And they play the music ahead of time, right? And I'm like, this is the 9th straight time they played this song. And I'm like, I have become my parents.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not the same song, but it all sounds the same now.
But if I'm driving in for the game, I mean, it's anything from, you might hear a Biggie Smalls to Chris Stapleton to an old Tom Petty hit to, I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, it's all over the place.
All right, that's good.
Yep.
All right, how long do we have before I have to go?
You can. It's up to you.
No, I know.
I don't want you to miss the flight.
I know. Well, I don't want to.
They'll wait for you. You're important to this deal, clearly.
In fact, I was told by Coach P in Oregon, she goes, I've left a radio guy before. And then she goes, no, wait, I didn't. The head coach did. And I said, I used the Grim line. We want to get out of here faster than you.
Yeah.
Win or lose. We're not trying to hold anybody up. So you mentioned the music on the way to the game. So is there a consistent game day routine that you have, depending on tip times and all that?
Yeah, I can't. Once, we put everything into it, and once the shoot-around is over and we've had our pregame meal, that's kind of, all right, now it's time to decompress a little bit. I can't sit here until the game. I'd lose my mind. I've already done a workout, so I always go home. I go home for a little bit, spend some time. Usually I like to put my head down for about 15 minutes, not much more than that, but and that kind of really, I think, helps calm me down for a second. I usually do that, and then you get back into your routine. It's good to see the kids and the dog again, and get back into the routine, and I take off. And I love the drive into games. It's really nice. Yeah, I really enjoy that. And like every place I've been is great. It's cool here for me when I'm driving, from out west into the city for the games, and you're kind of getting your mind right. I don't know. I love that time, by myself, and try to get here about an hour and 40 minutes or so again before the game. And then, boy, once you're in there, Michelle's got me doing all kinds of stuff when I get here.
They run you.
So yes,
they run you.
Yep.
Do you have to check traffic before you go? Like, have you ever been? Because now you're in a big city now.
Yeah,
it's a little different
I've
than
had
some
to
of the
call
places
myself. Oh man, I'm running but you kind of got it down. The fast pass is open a little bit, but it's not open when you're going back.
No,
you know
that's
what I mean?
the problem.
So
you're going the wrong way.
If there's a Wolves game or something going on, I'm starting to, I need to be a little bit more savvy than that. But it's worked out.
Have you ever felt you were in danger of missing a game because of traffic?
No, I've never felt in danger of missing a game because of traffic. Maybe I've gotten there a little bit later than I wanted to, but it always ends up working out. Once I get to the arena, I just like to be in a rhythm and let's get going till game time.
And we talked, I don't know if Guardsy was here or not, that you like to come up and sit on the bench for a little bit, too.
A lot of times I do. Sometimes I have, at Colorado State, we had a donor thing before every game. Sometimes we have some stuff here, too. I don't mind doing that either because it kind of keeps you going. But I love to go up and sit on the bench sometimes and just kind of get a feel for, you watch the other team warm up and you kind of get a feel for the buzz in the arena. And that's kind of fun to do, for me. And at the barn, I don't know, people who've been there, you can feel it. The popcorn smells a little bit different. When they start warming the popcorn up for the game, and you can kind of feel it. It just kind of smells different. It feels different, and kind of that build up to the game is kind of cool.
All right, Guardsy, good work.
Thank you.
Go get a win tomorrow.
I'm integral to the whole thing.
And don't go miss your flight now.
You got it.
All
Thanks.
Right. He is Justin Guard. We appreciate it. We will wrap the show up, so don't go away. Don't turn that channel off. We will have a preview of Minnesota and Wisconsin when we come back. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.
Gopher fans know the power of a great team. M Health Fairview University of Minnesota Medical Center is ranked the #1 hospital in the Twin Cities by U.S. News and World Report. This is more than an award. It's a reflection of our team of doctors, nurses, and staff who deliver world-class care so you can be at the top of your game. As the official healthcare provider of Gopher Athletics, M Health Fairview is proud to serve people across the state.
Midland Hills Country Club is well known as one of the finest golf clubs in the Twin Cities. The club has completely renovated its classic Seth Rayner designed course back to its original design. Enjoy a meticulously maintained course in a newly renovated ballroom and patio accommodating up to 300 guests in smaller breakout rooms, along with an executive boardroom overlooking the beautiful course. The club offers a great golf experience in a comfortable social atmosphere and is conveniently located just 10 minutes from either downtown. Visit MidlandHillsCC.org.
I'm Clay Geary, former wide receiver for the Minnesota Gophers.
And I'm Ben Utek, U of M alumni, Super Bowl champion, and Tony Dungy Uncommon Award winner.
We understand championship culture, which is why we are part of the True North family of companies.
True North invests in only elite teams, like the champion team at True North Mergers and Acquisitions, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and our diverse family of independently owned companies, visit thetruenorthfamily.com.
Dear Winter, Toyota can't get enough of you because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the Svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
I'm Christian. March Madness, which will be here before we know it, as we are in the final week here of January. Minnesota and Wisconsin tomorrow. A couple of thank yous. First, Dan Robotham, our on-site engineer. Michael Tackett is our in-studio producer. Joe DeSimon and Michelle Train-Traversy with Gopher Basketball helping us get all in line. And they're in charge of ordering your food each week. So they do a good job today?
Yeah, it was good. I had a chicken sandwich today.
Nice.
It was good. Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. I mean, the duties of these guys, right?
Well, they are rock stars. They do a lot that people don't understand.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So in the old days, the Big Ten, you'd play everybody twice, and then they added some teams, and you'd play most teams twice. Well, now with 18 teams, you play everybody once, and then a couple of teams twice, 3 teams twice. And it has probably made it a little harder for coaches, particularly going through the league the first time, because it's like an NBA schedule. You're playing, one-offs forever. But here you do get a rematch, and it's relatively recent. So how does that change, if anything, your prep for the game tomorrow? Because you played them 14 or whatever it was days ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of used to that. That's what we've done in the other leagues. The Mountain West, we finally got it. It was true round robin, then it wasn't for a little bit, and now we finally got it back to a true round robin, which I really like. I enjoy playing these teams twice. It's kind of part of the fun of the rivalry. And so yeah, it was just a couple weeks ago we played Wisconsin. I think the one thing you learn when you do that, and I especially even learned, if you remember the COVID year, at least the way we did it, we would play like a series of teams. So we might go to Boise State, play them, a Friday and a Sunday, or whatever it was, Thursday, Saturday. When you play a team back to back, doesn't matter what happened in the first game. Even if you had success, you couldn't just roll in there and do the exact same thing the second game and expect that to work, right? Teams are going to make adjustments. And so I think when we do this, the adjustments become subtle. Teams still do what they do. Wisconsin's coming off a loss. They've been playing their best basketball of the year. They came out lost at home to USC the other day. They'll be ready to roll. But I think the main things will still be the same. They still have their style, their players. There'll probably be some little nuances of things when they look at the film that they'll try to do. The same with us. Obviously, if we have to make a lineup change and play some different lineups we haven't played for long periods of time, we'll have to do some things that way too. But it's going to come down to transition defense, rebounding, challenging their three-point shooters, taking care of the ball, not going in long scoring droughts on the road in Madison, and it's all those things.
What do you take from that first game? Obviously, you guys were there. You had the 11-point lead early in the second half, and then they get you on the buzzer beater. But is there something you pull from that game for tomorrow night?
I think you look at the things that you did well, on both ends of the floor, and can you build on those things moving forward? Obviously, they've got a lot of firepower. They're a terrific offensive team. Braden Carrington kind of had a career night against us, but they've got a lot of guys who can really make shots, and so you've got to be able to challenge, those shooters. You do a great job. I thought we did a decent job on the boards. We did a decent job attacking the paint. Our transition defense was pretty good. We got to do those things, but we got to do a better job, I think, of being able to challenge these shooters.
The Kohl Center, have you coached a game in there?
I was there as an assistant, but I have not coached a game as a head coach in the Kohl Center.
Yeah, what is your impression, if you remember?
Gosh, I'm probably old-fashioned that way, but like I said, I always kind of liked the old Madison Fieldhouse. It just kind of had that feel, to it.
You like that beer garden on the way to the locker room. I remember you said that. Yeah,
I remember that. And they don't make them like that anymore, right?
Exactly.
What could go wrong? Yeah, especially today's day and age. The Kohl Center, I think it's probably a great, home court for them. I'm getting in trouble for saying it, but I don't love all these arenas that kind of have more of that sort of NBA pro feel to it.
Yeah, Ohio State too, right?
Yeah, I don't like those as much. And everyone's clapping. I don't know. I kind of like, even if somebody's doing a new arena, I hope that they can find a way to put a little bit of character into it that way, because I think that stuff is what makes it cool. So I'll be curious to see what I think going into the Kohl Center. But listen, it's the Badgers.
They've won a lot of games.
They've won a lot of games. It's the Wisconsin, Minnesota. So it's another crack at that rivalry. And so no matter where we're playing, it's going to be great.
One of the sidebar things with this game, not specific to the game, but in general to Wisconsin, I wasn't aware of this. You brought it up just in a casual conversation we were having the other, a week or two ago, because we know about your mentorship with Clem Haskins and others over the course of time. But you mentioned Dick Bennett was a big influence, the former Badger coach who was at Wisconsin Green Bay, and I wasn't aware of the connection there. What's the connection there with you and Coach Bennett?
Well, it's interesting. When I was the head coach at Furman, a donor of ours down there who became a dear friend had grew up in Wisconsin, and he had known the coach. And I became a head coach, and he had asked, hey, would you be interested in having a chance to go and spend some time with Coach Bennett? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, he's a legend, especially those in the coaching business. I mean, he's as good as there ever was at every level, and much of how defense is played today was really invented, by him. And so I'm like, sure. And I thought I'd just go up there and have lunch with him. And next thing you know, I spent, a couple days at his house with him and his wife, Ann, and he and I have just become really, really close, throughout the years, and spend a lot of time, on the phone and talking. And he's just taught me so much about coaching. And, he's just been someone that's been really, really special to me. And I talked to him again, the other day. And so I'm just really thankful that somebody like him took the interest he did in me as a young coach. And I'm just really indebted to him. And so, listen, he probably wouldn't say this because he'd get in trouble if he said that, because he knows Coach Gard really well too. And he has his house in Wisconsin that's kind of at the epicenter of all the places that he's coached. And he's just touched so many lives, especially in that area of the country. But yeah, he's someone that's really important to me. His grandson Lucas is on our staff, as a graduate assistant. I've gotten to know Tony, really well too. It actually kind of hurt me. Tony's last game he ever coached was against us in the NCAA tournament, and we beat him
pretty bad.
And I still felt bad almost that ended up being the last game he ever coached, because again, he's one of the best ever did. In fact, they're going to name the court after him at Virginia, which is more than overdue. But anyway, family that means a lot to me.
And he, of course, Tony, though, won the national title right here in Minneapolis.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I was there, and I remember being in the hotel room with Coach and stuff, a couple days before the championship game. And it's really, really a cool family.
And with him, obviously, he got the Badgers to that Final Four in 2000. And how much of what you do now is based, because Coach Bennett had kind of this legendary, we talk about the Clem Haskins camps all the time, but his camps and the clinics, the coaches' clinics, right, were legendary over the years in Wisconsin. So what have you taken from him that fans might notice today that they might not understand is from the Dick Bennett coaching style?
What's interesting is, there are certain things, but really schematically we're very different, than his teams. But what you learn about it, that's not really about that. It's coaching, it's teaching, it's emphasis, it's understanding how to build a program and the things that work, and building confidence in yourself and players. And yes, there are certain things you're going to talk to him about and ask him about this in defense or offense. But honestly, what's so cool is he'd be the biggest one who really just encouraged me to try to do it the way that I thought I should do it, and tell you, man, what you do is great. I love what you do. And so there's never this thing, and I would do the same thing for young coaches. It's not about me telling you what I think you should do or how you should play. It's trying to empower you to be who you want to be and helping you think about those things. And so I just think he was so instrumental that way for me.
All right, well, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock is the tip. We take air at 7:30. Get some of that magic dust and get it onto Cade Tyson's ankle, and let's get him ready to roll, right?
Let's go.
All right, very good. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
He is the head coach of the Golden Gophers, Niko Medved. And again, we take air tomorrow night, 7:30, and that is our pregame show. It's an 8 o'clock tip-off. We want to thank Justin Gard as well and wish him luck on his broadcast tomorrow. Also, stay with us. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.